Hi everyone, we are here day one of Flamingo Land. As you can see, we set up the Bongo with the side awning. Wow, I time-lapsed that, so I'll insert that now. We're just going to have a quick wander. I think we've got quite a walk, and anything interesting I'll turn the camera on and show you too. Be back in a bit.
Here on stage we've got Marvin. Marvin's going to do all the showing off today. He's our oldest sea lion here at Flamingo Land. He's 23 and he arrived here when he was just a pup. He came from Whipsnade Wild Animal Park. He was 18 months old when he joined us, and I've had the privilege of working with him since that first day. He's great fun. We're going to tell you all about him and show you just some of the many things he's learned to do. We've got 3 sea lions here, all of them male California sea lions. Our 19-year-old Mervin is having a break in the corner pool at the moment. They all get a chance to do that throughout the course of the day. He's been on stage twice already, so now having a well-earned break. We've also got a youngster called Matteo, who's 5, so we get an opportunity to see him after the show. And Marvin here likes to start every show with a wave. If you all stick an hand in the air, wave at him, you should wave back. That's what we like to see. Look at that, give him all. And he does like a bit of clapping too. I know there's only a few of you out there, but if you see him clapping, join in, give him a little round of applause. He loves it. Now Marvin is a California sea lion.
Check that it's...
This species of sea lion can be found all the way along the west coastline of America, not just in California. They're also seen as far north as Canada, as far south as the Gulf of Mexico. Our 3 here bred in different zoos. We have bred them here in the past, many years ago, but we may do a game one day in the future, but at the moment we do have plans to breed them, mainly because they're not classed as endangered or threatened. If they were, we'd promote breeding here at the zoo. But the other reason is they breed so successfully, you can end up overrun with baby sea lions if you're not careful. That means you need more space for the animals, more staff to keep them occupied. Fish bills are astronomical, so at the moment we've just got the 3 boys here. Marvin being the oldest one, he's 23. In the wild, quite simply, they don't live that long. In the wild, they have a maximum lifespan of 15 to 20 years. And it's sadly very rare that they reach that age. In a zoo like this, they can live to 25, sometimes even 30. And the main reason for this is there aren't any sharks or killer whales here.
No.
Now, Marvin has been taught to open his mouth whenever we touch him on the chin. If I touch his chin gently with my index finger, he does this, open wide.
Oh.
So we can check his teeth, and he's importantly so can the vet when he pays a visit. Anyone who's taken their dog or their cat to the vet to have their teeth checked will know it can be quite an experience, both for the animal and for the vet. So training the sea lions to do that when they're young is very important. So, they breathe through the mouth and nose like us. They're mammals in every sense of the word. We've also taught him to blow his nose. When I touch him on the nose, he does this. And that's trained so we can take a mucus sample from him. They can suffer from infections in the nose, in the throat and in the lungs. If you train them to blow their nose like that, you can take a sample of what comes out, send it off to the lab and you can have it tested. If there are any nasty bugs or bacteria or signs of infection in there, you can treat them with the right medication. If you're wondering why we don't just stick a swab up his nose, it's because when the sea lions are relaxed, their nostrils close tight and shut. And that stops any water going up the nose when they're swimming about. These animals actually have to open their nostrils each time they inhale or exhale. They can hold their breath for 15 minutes. They rarely do that here because they don't need to. But in the wild, when diving deep to catch fish and squid, they can stay on the water for up to a quarter of an hour on 1 breath of air. They're covered by a fur coat. They look quite smooth, slippery even, when they're wet, because when they're wet, the fur sticks tight to the body to make them more streamlined. But as they dry off, they go all fluffy and they feel a bit like a fleece jacket. It does them no harm at all to dry off. People always assume that they have to be in water or they have to be wet, but that's not the case. These animals in the wild spend most of their time on land, because on land they have no natural predators. In the ocean, they're preyed on by creatures like killer whales. They're also preyed on by this creature. I mentioned it a moment ago. Marvin does quite a good impression of the other predator they face. He tries to scare the other sea lions by doing this. It doesn't work. It's his shark impression. Now most sharks are harmless. We have to make this clear. Most sharks don't eat sea lions. They don't eat serpents. But there are 3 that do. Tiger sharks, bull sharks, and great white sharks. All feed on California sea lions. So Marvin, what would a sea lion do if it was swimming around and it spotted one of those sharks? Leg him, yes, head for dry land. That is always the best option. Give yourself a clap for that impression. Now in the wild, these animals face many challenges. They face the threat from predators. They face a lot of threats from us humans too. We don't directly hunt them anymore. We used to. We used to hunt these animals for their fur and also for their blubber, which we turned into oil. But I'm pleased to say we stopped hunting California sea lions a long, long time ago. They're now protected to a certain extent. But they face big threats from pollution. We pollute the water they live in, we pollute the food they eat. They face the threat from overfishing. Because we overfish the oceans, the animals have to travel further to find the fish and squid they need to survive and thrive. Further into the ocean they have to travel, the more vulnerable they are to predators. So it's a pretty tough life for them out there. 40 to 60% of them in the wild sadly don't make it to their first birthday. There is a high infant mortality rate in the wild. Here in a zoo, it's not the case. They don't have to worry about any of that stuff. No competition for food, no predators here. But unfortunately, they can get bored. If you leave them to just swim around all day and throw them fish now and again, it's inevitable they're going to get bored eventually. If boredom sets in, behavioural problems can develop. Giving them different toys to play with is one way to keep them occupied. We've got some hoops here, and Marvin's going to show you his catching skills. I'm going to throw the hoops to him. He's going to try and catch all 5 over that long neck. Now, it's a bit different to catching a fish in the mouth. The hoops have to go over the head. But the same skills are needed to catch anything. You've got to judge how fast the object's moving and where it's moving to. And Marvin can do that really well because he's got binocular eyesight. He's got 2 eyes that face forward, just like you and me. So he can judge the movement of the hoop and the speed of the hoop. If he gets this, give him a clap. Well done. But to be quite honest with you, he finds that quite easy now. It took a long time to train. At first the hoops would bounce off his nose, they'd end up on the floor, in the pool. But now he's really good at catching like that. So we're going to make it a bit more of a challenge. We're going to flip the hoops. If you slowly make the tasks more and more difficult for the animals, you keep them occupied for longer. And this is much more of a challenge. There's every chance he might miss a hoop this time. If he makes a mistake though, I must stress, we don't punish him. That's often how people assume we train the animals. I'm going to show you that's not the case. If I was to punish him for any reason, he wouldn't trust me. And if you want to work closely with the sea lions like we do here, trust is essential. They're going to trust you, you've got to trust them. They won't trust someone that punishes them. So the training's all about positive reinforcement, and you help every time you give him that round of applause. Yes, I can reward you with fish when he does something well. That's one form of encouragement. You like your fish, don't you, Marvin? Yes. But the reward doesn't have to be food. Just giving the animal a pat on the back, giving them vocal praise, saying well done, good point. That works as well as a piece of fish. Sometimes in the height of summer, food doesn't work because they lose their appetite. In the height of summer, when it gets very warm, they eat very little. In winter, they have a phenomenal appetite. In winter, Marvin goes off his food for any time we notice something wrong. Because in winter they can consume up to 10% of their own body weight daily. But sometimes in the height of summer, I throw him a fish to say, well done, he spits the fish out. But he still sits there showing off, and that's just to get attention, which they always want. Like dogs, giving them a pat on the back, saying, well done, point.
Like flies, isn't it?
And every time you guys are clapping, I'm often rewarding him at the same time, and the sea lions quickly make that link. So after a few times out here on the stage, they start to respond whenever you clap. So you're actually helping me with the training every time you do that. Let's see if he'll do the tower dive. Now this is a different type of challenge. We built this tower several years ago for the sea lions to dive from. And Marvin loves doing this. And people often ask me, how do you make the sea lions perform every day? How do you make them perform in all the shows? Well, the answer's simple, I don't. You can ask them, you can encourage them. But if a 20-stone sea lion doesn't want to climb some steps and dive into the pool, you don't try it. He loves doing this now, so let's give him a countdown from 3 to 1, see if he's going to jump in the pool for us. Are you ready, Marvin? 3, 2, 1, jump!
Woo!
Look at that, and a good splash to go with it. Marvin and the other animals here are sea lions, so called because they develop a mane around their neck. The fur around the neck area thickens out on male animals, forming a very, very slight mane. That is the one and only thing they have in common with lions, nothing else. They're very closely related to bears and otters, also very closely related to dogs, but not at all closely related to lions. The seals that you see on the beaches here in Britain are different to these animals. They're cousins, basically. People often get confused between sea lions and seals, but you can tell them apart quite easily by just looking at the creature's ears. On a sea lion, that's all species of sea lion, and there are several different species found throughout the world. They all have ear flaps that stick out there and there. They're only little, but you can see Marvin's ears on the side of his head. A seal's ear is in exactly the same place. Seals don't have ear flaps. The seal's ear is just a little hole on either side of the head. So the ears stick out as a sea lion, simple. They swim in different ways. Sea lions use the front flippers for power. They work together, they act like giant paddles. Seals swim using the back flippers by moving them from side to side.
It's like,
so
where's my
a seal's
fish?
front flipper is not that big. A The seal's front flipper only grows to the size of my hand, so you can see they're quite a size difference. Seals have much smaller front flippers because they use the back end of the body to swim. These animals have massive front flippers and loads of upper body muscle to sweep their way through the water. And if you watch how Marvin walks, he walks on his flippers, you just see him climbing steps. The seal can't do that. Seals can't walk around in this way. Notice how he uses all four flippers to lift that body off the ground and walk around quite easily. They've adapted, evolved if you like to be able to move in this way. Seals are not so quick. He's not a seal, but he does do a good impression of one. Shows how seals move, yeah, they move like that. They sort of bounce on. They have to wriggle about on their belly, rather like a giant caterpillar. They can't stand up or walk on the flippers because they're not big enough to stand or walk on. That's just a few ways you can tell a seal from a sea lion. And just when you thought we'd cleared that up, there is one awkward exception, a creature called a fur seal. Fur seals aren't actually seals. A fur seal is actually a type of sea lion, but that's where it all starts to get a bit confusing, so we'll move on. Now, if you're ever lucky enough to go to California, you can see these animals in the wild. If you look at a large group of them out on the beach or on piers, on yachting marinas where you normally find them, you'll often see one that looks something like that, with something wrapped around the neck or around the flipper. Because this is just a visual aid, it's going to come to no harm. But in the wild, thousands of sea lions come to harm after getting entangled in rubbish. They're naturally very inquisitive, very playful animals. So they find rubbish in the water, they mess around with it, and they get entangled in it. Some are lucky, some get caught by a vet or a professional, have the item removed before it causes serious harm. But because they're wild animals, they're very hard to catch and often very hard to treat, so many of them are not so fortunate. The other big problem in the wild comes from plastic. We're all well aware of the problem with plastic in the ocean. These animals have one bad habit, they will eat anything that fits in their mouth. I mean, anything. In the past, Marvin has become ill on a couple of occasions after eating rubbish. Luckily, on each occasion he's recovered. It's never been too serious, but in the wild, thousands of animals like this die every year after choking on rubbish, and they also become very ill after consuming small amounts of plastic in the ocean. And it can happen in a zoo too. Anything that gets into the pool can be choking hazard to these animals. But watch what Marvin's learned to do. He's the only one of the 3 sea lions here that does this like way, so please don't do what I'm about to do. You can open the bin for starters, and in the bin we've got a piece of rubbish. Now if the other sea lions get hold of this, we're in big trouble. But watch what Marvin's learned to do. When I carelessly throw it in the pool, he races after it, he grabs it, he brings it back, he puts it in the bin, he even makes sure the lid's shut so the others can't get it. And the point is, if he can do it, he can also do it. We all made sure that happened and the world would be a better place. One thing that we certainly don't see sea lions doing in the wild is balancing basketballs on their colours. But Marvin's learned to do that, and it kept him occupied for ages trying to do it. This activity is often seen in shows like this. People often say to me it's a circus trick, it's a magic trick. I can assure you it's not a trick, there's no trickery involved. There is a lot of skill involved though, and there's a lot of practice involved learning how to do this. So it gives them something to think about, something to focus on. The other good thing about balancing is it puts their whiskers to the test. The whiskers around the nose are incredibly sensitive. They're not strong enough to move the ball or hold the ball, but with his whiskers, Marvin's learned to feel which way the ball's moving. And that is how he can keep it. This has nothing to do with eyesight. You can do this with his eyes shut. He's not watching the ball like we're thinking. He's feeling the ball with those sensitive whiskers, and every time it presses against them, he moves his head slightly to stop the ball from falling. Now, in the wild, they use their whiskers in a much cleverer way. They use them to find fish. When it's dark or murky in the ocean, if they're trying to hunt at night time, they can use the whiskers to feel for vibrations in the water. When a fish swims, it moves its tail from side to side. This creates tiny waves in the water. The whiskers can detect these wave patterns from several
that's
meters
the colour
away.
stain on the
That's
side
how
of it.
sensitive they are.
Yeah, don't worry.
If they follow the waves in the right direction, it leads them to the fish. So sea lions can hunt for food
That's
that
this
they
back
can't
here,
see.
man.
They can actually
Yeah, I
survive
saw
if
that.
they go completely
Little video of them.
Here in the zoo, we are not allowed to feed our sea lions live fish here. All the fish that we feed them has just been defrosted. So we can't replicate the use of the whiskers in the way they'd use them naturally in the wild. here at the zoo. But learning to balance is just an alternative way of putting the whiskers to the test. And Marvin just happens to be brilliant at this. Give yourself a clap. I often get asked how long
Fish.
and it's a question you can't answer because they're all different. They've all got different skills, they all learn at different speeds. No two are ever the same. And balancing is a good example. It took Marvin a few months to learn how to do that. None of them can do it straight away. They don't realise they can do it until you show them. It took our 19-year-old Merlin a few years to learn how to balance. Our little sea lion Matteo has been practising balancing for 5 years now and he can't do it. Drops the ball every time. But it doesn't matter because it's keeping him occupied driving. He might never learn to balance, some of them don't. But Marvin finds that a bit easy. So watch this. This shows you just how much he's developed his skill over time. Every day since he was a pup, he's been practising his balancing. And it got to the point where he found balancing a ball too easy. So he started balancing different objects. And some he could balance, some he couldn't. Eventually he learned to balance this on his nose. It's the real thing from the local bowling alley, the bowling thing. And it's incredibly hard to do this because it's only touching a few little whiskers. Remember, he's not watching the object on his nose, he's feeling the object with those whiskers. But that wasn't good enough for Marvin, just balancing it. He learned to move around at the same time. Now, when you've got to walk and balance, it's a lot more difficult because he's got to coordinate his body movement, he's got to watch where he's going, and all the time he's using his whiskers to feel which way that skittle is moving, making tiny adjustments to his nose. For this, well, this is just showing off. He can dive into the pool without popping.
Oh my God.
That really is a challenge. Marvin, when it comes to balancing, mate, you are in a league of your own. Absolutely fantastic. Now we are coming close to the end of the show. At the end of the show, if you want to, on your way out, you can buy one of our giant posters. We've got 2 to choose from. They're £5 each. All the proceeds go back to the sea lions. Every poster we sell, the money raised goes towards Marvin, Merlin, Matteo, their everyday care here, their never-ending fish bills. Plus, if you buy a poster, you get the opportunity to pose for a photo with Matteo. If you buy a poster for £5, you get standing next to Matteo, take a few photos with him behind you. And like I said, you're helping the sea lions by doing that. It is £5 per person. You do have to take your own photos, I will stress that bit. But if you want a poster again, just head out through that gate over there on your right hand side. We've not finished quite though. Marvin is going to try the ball jump. This is a test of strength. He's going to attempt to hit the pink ball suspended above the pool with his nose. Now this takes up all the strength in his upper body to do this. It takes a lot of effort. He weighs 135 kilos, around about the 20 stone mark. So to lift that massive body all the way up to that ball takes some effort. And there's a chance he might miss. It's pretty warm now. He's had no practice of this today.
Hurry up,
So if he misses, he's got a sub for the rest of the day.
Have you not got life?
I've got life, just that it's too hot.
If he hits it, we're going to give him a big cheer. I think you can do it if you try. If it helps, you can stick your tongue out. Might help you. Just do your best, Marvin. Are you ready? Let's give him a countdown. 3, 2, 1. Here he comes like a rocket into the air. And you get that target. Right on cue.
He's like, I want my fish.
Give him another fish to say well done.
Really? Catch!
Good training there. Good training. Give him another. You might as well. Don't spoil this sea lion. Do your smile again, Marvin. Stop chewing your food. Big smile. Blow your nose. Go on. Smile.
Nice dog, mate.
That's a good one. That's a good one, isn't
Isn't
it?
he gorgeous?
You're a good boy.
What was the other one?
Tap your leg. That's it.